During the time that I've been working in education, I've seen a dramatic change in the school-age population that we're serving nationally. I've been following the percent of our school-age students who are from low-income homes, and in the last 20 years we've seen an increase from 23% of our students being raised in low-income homes to 43% today. That's been a dramatic change in the needs of students because of the experience they're having day to day growing up in homes with access to resources. In 2014, Education Week announced that we now have a majority-minority school-age population. And that represents a huge change for my generation and the generations before it. And our schools have to serve our children very differently than they could 20 or 30 years ago. It's not just an academic experience anymore, it's very much about serving the whole child, understanding where they come from, understanding what they need to succeed, understanding what influences they need around them. Our schools today, the reality is we have to serve the whole child in order to set up our students to learn well academically as students. And that's why health and wellness is so important to public education in our country today. Minnesota was the first state to pass a charter school law in 1991. I'm actually originally from Minnesota. Charter school laws were picked up by state legislatures around the country and became very popular because it was a way of trying to create new space in public education for educators to take ownership over the way in which we're providing education to our students. And Colorado was the third state to pass a charter law. So we've now had a charter school movement in Colorado for almost 25 years. We have Montessori charter schools, we have charter schools that serve pregnant teens, adjudicated youth, we have classical models, we have core knowledge schools, we have Waldorf models. So we've just seen this remarkable growth in a diversity of different types of experiences for learners in the state. Charter schools are serving 1 in 6 students who are in public schools in the state of Colorado today. So Colorado is one of the largest, fastest growing, and healthiest charter markets in the country.
These are charter schools across the state, and there are approximately 250 public funded charter schools. You can see there's a big cluster here in the Denver metro area down this corridor to Colorado Springs, Pueblo, and north up to Fort Collins. We also have a charter school out here way on the eastern side, and then we have them along the I-70 corridor up north and all the way down here in the Montezuma-Cortez area. We also have one way out here on the western slope. We have upwards of 115,000 students in public charter schools in Colorado. And if you were to put all those 250 charter schools together, it would represent the largest district in the state. So it's really important that we advocate and communicate and help charters have access to those resources that support their student health and well-being. We've received 2 grants from the Colorado Health Foundation to support public charter schools in Colorado. And our first iteration of the grant was really an opportunity just to identify the needs of charters and what were they experiencing and what was really happening in their communities. So in the first grant, we connected with 10 charter schools and provided direct technical assistance to help them. What we really know is that charter schools are like people. They need the wind at their back to be successful, and sometimes just a little support can really help them go a long way. Here's where we are now. In the second iteration of the grant, we decided that that singular support for charter schools was one model, but that we could create a stronger and more sustainable model. And what we decided to do instead was to try to build more regional connections. So in this iteration of the grant, our focus was really on connecting more public charters to their districts when that's possible. And when that's not feasible for public charters, we help them call what we call pods, like peas in a pod. That's 2 or more charter schools that come together and apply for Healthy Schools funding. Those charter schools cluster themselves, and then we become another branch of support for those charter schools in Colorado. And so where we really see ourselves going in the future is just really growing and expanding these networks and really helping public charter schools rely on what's in their community and what's near them to help them succeed. So we see more and more clusters of charter schools and districts working together, not to mention the myriad of partners that are available to support their success all around the state.
We're a K-8 district charter school. We have 135 students who attend this school. Carbondale Community School is guided by 4 points of a compass, and those 4 points are social justice, responsibility, community, and lifelong learning. And so we think about what really brings us all together here at this school and what our goals are in terms of education. You know, wellness, health and wellness really fits in perfectly with our goals here. So as a school, it makes sense that we have a garden and that we do mindfulness, because we really want to teach kids to be responsible for themselves. We want them to be responsible for others, and we want them to be responsible for their community. And that really starts with health and wellness.
You know, we had our PE teacher bring this to us. I think she got an email from the Colorado League of Charter Schools, and she brought it to our principal, and they talked and said, sure, let's try it. Let's see if we can get a committee together. So they put it out to the staff, and there were 5 of us that were on the committee. And we decided to look at it from social, emotional wellness, nutrition, and physical activity. What can we do to strengthen those things? What can we do to look at the whole child? How does it tie into our values as a school? And just help our graduates, by the time they're in 8th grade, be whole, complete members of their school community and their greater community. We have accomplished a lot now in the 5 years, but it wasn't without challenges. And one of the challenges that comes to mind, first of all, was getting a working definition of what is wellness, because it means something different to everybody. And then even the word health. Like, what is healthy? What does it mean to be healthy? Some people attach it to money, some people attach it to your physical body, am I in shape, my weight, my appearance. So we had to figure out what is wellness and what is health and what is a definition we can agree on for our school. Well, first thing is to assemble your most passionate participants who are willing to stick it through, who are going to face the challenges and know that the outcomes might look very different from what you're wanting to do. Involve the kids from all angles as much as possible. You empower them to be responsible for themselves and their health and their choices. Finding a small group of committed parents, an administrator, maybe even a few students that you've heard in passing that they would be into creating some angle of the wellness piece. Maybe not take on all 3 at once like we did, but even starting a very small raised bed out in the front of the school. That can be the shift, start the shift in the thinking and the education around wellness. Well, the Learning Garden was also started as part of a wellness initiative. As the kids learn about the life cycle of a plant from seed to seed, so starting in the spring planting the seeds and then watching the plants grow, then we take a look at what's here and decide what meals can we make to serve the school on Fridays. We call these Friday meals LTOGAs. So the kids are actually part of the process of even harvesting the food, to washing it off and prepping it, and even in some cases helping to cook it.
So High Point Academy serves students in far northeast Denver. We have students that come to us from Denver Public Schools, Aurora Public, and Brighton. About 50 to 55% of our students qualify for free or reduced lunch. We have a beautiful diversity. We chose to join the Wellness Advisory to help realign to our mission When High Point was founded about 11 years ago, it was founded as a wellness school. And we really needed help to refocus around wellness. And it's been tremendously supportive for us. I think that the biggest challenges that we've seen recently is really around students' social emotional wellness, students being able to really handle the stresses of life when they're angry or frustrated, or things aren't necessarily going their way, or if there's a conflict. Those social emotional skills have really presented some challenges for our kids, and that's a huge focus for us. How can we teach those pro-social behaviors and support our students with the stress that they're going to experience in life? As a result of joining the Wellness Advisory, we've had a lot of success. One of the things that's taken place is that we've increased our physical activity for our students by increasing and adding another recess. So all of our students, kindergarten through 8th grade, have 2 recesses every day, which our students and staff, everybody loves. We've also restructured our lunch to make sure that students have more time to eat in a peaceful, calm lunchroom setting. We were able to get additional funding through the Colorado Health Foundation, which resulted in a coordinator that we partner and share with a few other schools that helps us focus on the whole child, helps us focus on our wellness mission so that we can support our students, physical, social, emotional well-being. We have a tremendous wellness teacher that supports all of our students as well through a wellness class. And in that class, students are learning about pro-social skills. They're learning how to make good choices in terms of the food that they eat, the amount of sleep that they get. And a lot of those things are taken home to their parents who share with us parent-teacher conferences and things like that, all the things that they've learned from their own children about healthy living, which is always fun to hear. In addition, we've also had an opportunity to really focus on staff wellness, and so through the collaborative, we've been able to provide initiatives and support for staff so that they're taking care of themselves, so that they can be here for kids every day. As a school leader, you're always looking for partners that are going to help you do the hard work that you come here every day to do. And I just want to thank the Colorado Health Foundation, the League of Charter Schools for all their work around supporting and focusing on student wellness. It's important work, and I'm thankful that they're doing it.